So why sell books on eBay? Well, I've got three good reasons. The first one, I love books. Love books. I've tried selling other things and I just don't enjoy the whole picking, listing process. Books, love them every time. And now I'm going to show you reason number two. Reason number two. For me, I'm very lucky that I've got some pretty straightforward sourcing opportunities. So about 300 books, got another wee stack to the side there that I'll show you in a minute. 300 odd books, 25 pence a book. It's a great way to do it. I'm really in the shadows here, aren't I? So for me, it's dead easy to source them. I left the house at 10 past 10 and I got back at 11:45. So that's all the time it took to go and pick up all of these books. Most of these here will be added to the pre-existing book bundles that I've already got going, and then I've got a few stacks at the end there, another wee stack down here of just individual titles that I've picked up, either because I've sold them before or because they looked quite interesting. So what I do next is go through all the ones that I've never had before, check on the prices, see what they're selling for and see if there's any kind of bangers in there. Before I do that, straight away, three that I've found so far: signed editions, a John Connolly Night Music, don't know what it's worth yet, Derren Brown signed copy, and an Ellie Griffiths signed copy. So three signed copies that I've come across where it's said so on the cover. A lot of first editions in there, and hopefully a few interesting ones which I'm going to go and dig through just now, which will take me on to reason number three. So, reason number three. I'm hoping this is a slightly better angle with slightly better lighting. Anyway, reason number three is when I pick up a big stack like this, there's always a few books in there which are worth considerably more than the rest, and usually with a very, very small fraction of the total pickup volume that, you know, will cover what I paid, double it, treble it, see where it goes. So I've had a quick scan through the ones that I think might be interesting. There'll be a few more hidden in there that are worth a few quid more than I expect, but for the most part I've been through the interesting ones, and these are all the ones that are going to be worth, will sell for £10 or more, so it will make me a fairly good return. So first, our signed editions. I found another one, Andrew Grieg golf book. They had the sticker on the back, but three of those are worth a tenner each, and one of them goes £10 to £15, so that's 40 quid in sales straight away from those four there. So it was Andrew Grieg, Preferred Lies, John Connolly's Night Music Nocturnes Volume 2, Derren Brown, Book of Secrets, and Ellie Griffiths, The Nighthawks. So that's the four signed books that we found today. Other books that are worth about a tenner, we've got Ghost Book, an old vintage horror thingamajig, a rather tatty copy of Secret Garden Golden Jubilee edition from way back in the 50s, and the New Mammoth Book of Pulp Fiction, which doesn't sell very often, but it does sell for about a tenner. A couple more on the £10 mark. We've got a big Warcraft book. What am I doing there? Clarinet for Dummies, which has the CD with it, and James Bond Encyclopedia. So the three of those again all sell for around about the £10 mark. A couple that sell for about 15. A couple of Dungeons and Dragon books, Circus of Fear and Light on Quest's Mountain, an odd title, but they seem to sell for about £15 each as well, so that's rather nice. £20. We have Jazz Violin by Matt Glazer and Stefan Grappelli, so that seems to go for about 20 quid. We've got Film Noir, wee hardcover book, very good condition. Again, it seems to sell for round about £20 with the dust jacket. Another one, £20-25. Superior Cookery. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that very well. Superior Cookery by Mrs. Black. So, I say old books that are illustrated, pick them up. This was gifted to somebody on November the 26th, 1897. It's from about 1880 and it seems to sell for about £25. So, Mrs. Black's Superior Cookery. There's a few other Mrs. Black's books and they all sell quite well. And the last one from the good bundle, this appears to go for about 50 quid. Film Noir again. So big book, real glossy, beautiful book. It's made sure it had no scribbles or anything inside because it's a coffee table book, but that does seem to sell for about 50 quid, so might get lucky with that. So with all of that lot, you know, those that are worth a wee bit more, sale value of around about £240. So, you know, there'll be postage paid on top of that. So half of that, 120 quid, so that more than covers everything that I paid today and a wee bit more on top. So not the best day I've had for like those exceptional books, but still that was maybe about 15 books out of 240, 250, 260, something like that. And that leaves me a couple of hundred books where I will get at least £3 a book on all of the rest. However, there's a few more interesting bits and pieces. I'm going to kind of talk through everything that I've picked up, but first we've got some box sets. So we've got a Famous 5 box set that sells for about £15. We got another Enid Blyton box set. It just goes for 6 or 7, but the box sets tend to go quite quickly. We've got Ali Carter, The Complete Gilmore Girls. Picked up 4 of these actually, and they all sell for £10-11 each, so another 40 quid in sales just for the stack of 4 of those. Somehow there was a DVD in amongst all the books I picked up. I don't even remember putting this in any of the bags, but obviously I did. It appears to be complete and it sells for about a tenner. So again, another nice wee box set piece. So from that lot there, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, another about £70 in sales. So that's good for what it is. Other things of interest. So when I see an author or a writer or whoever, and there's a few in a set by any particular author, I just grab them and then see what they're worth. So we've got Dr. Brian Weiss, 4 books by him: Through Time into Healing, Many Lives, Many Masters, Messages from the Masters, Only Love is Real. So spiritual books. They all sell for 6-7 quid each, but I'll probably just lot them up, put them out for 20 quid and see what happens. So when you see a few books by an author or a writer that you've never heard of before, it can be worth picking them up if they're cheap. You never know what they'll end up being valued at. I've had some nice surprises from things like that in the past, but that's pretty generic, but I'll quite happily take it. Another bundle that we saw, these are a bit heavier. Where are we? CRM. So this is the Moreland Dynasty series. There's one of them. Now individually they don't sell for anything great, but I don't see anyone with a complete set, and I believe we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books 1 to 7 here. Now I don't know if that is a complete set, but it feels like a pretty substantial set. So again, they sell for 3-4 quid individually, but if I lot up the 7 of them, again I'll maybe get £20, £25, because they're going to be heavy to post for that set there. So nothing spectacular, but hopefully they'll be pretty straightforward sales. Right, most of the rest of what you got here is stuff that will go into my bulk listings. So, for example, Jacqueline Wilson will get added to the listing. Really good condition, they'll sell easy. Skullduggery Pleasant, these sell really well, really quick. Really good condition, these ones. I've got 3 paperbacks and a couple of hardcovers. These will even sell quickly if they're first editions, and you can price them up. First edition. Check this one as well. First edition. So I'll get about £8 each on the hardcovers and £3-4 each on the paperbacks, and they go into my bundle. Another favourite, Julia Donaldson. So a couple of little board books, lift the flat books, and then one large board book, which you don't see too often, and a nice bundle of just the normal paperback books. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those there. So they'll get added onto my bulk listing, and Julia Donaldson sells well and fast, which is good. So about £3 each for all of those. Next, bit of a cracker. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Lee Child books. I do like selling Lee Child. We've got a stack of paperbacks and another paperback there, the Sentinel, and 3 hardcovers, one of which is the new one, The Secret, which I've not read yet, so I'll be reading that before I sell it. So that's a nice wee turnaround. If I sell The Secret quick, I can probably get £6, £7, £8 for it, but I'm going to read it, so we'll see how long that takes me to get to it. A few more kind of thriller books, which again, they're nothing spectacular. They just get added onto the bulk listing, and we see where they go from there. So we've got an Andy McNabb, All on His Lonesome. A Val McDermott, All on Her Lonesome. A couple of Jeffrey Archers. And Alex Gray, who again sells really, really well. Not a first edition. Just using a reasonable pile. And a couple of Anne Cleeves hardcovers. Again, these don't sell fast, but they do sell, and I'll get like £4 each for the hardcovers on those. So that was a few thrillers. More thrillers. It's a big stack of David Baldacci hardcovers, so by no means a complete set, but a couple of these were first editions. The rest are all just, you know, 10, 12, whatever issues. These go up for £4 each. Buy 3 get 2 free, obviously. So a nice little stack of David Baldacci hardcovers, followed by, where are we? A nice little stack of Paulo Coelho. Don't see a huge number of these, but they do tend to sell. These appear to be kind of a set, because they're quite small edition paperbacks, so I might just lot these up as a set and see how they go. It doesn't have The Alchemist in it, which is usually the one that drives sales through for Mr. Coelho, but 5 of those, probably about £15. So yeah, great man. Only 2 Grishams today, which is always disappointing. I like lots of Grishams, but we've got Rogue Lawyer and Camino Wins, so they'll get added to the listing. Again, about £3 each on those ones. Then we've got our David Williams. So we've got some World's Worst Children, 2 and 3. Pull these here so I can get to the rest. And then a big stack of paperbacks, all in really good condition. Apart from one which has got a wee bit of accretion to the cover, the top one, Grandpa's Great Escape. There we go. But the rest, all good nick. They will be added to the David Williams bulk listing, and he just ticks out every week. We get sales on David Williams, as we do, who's actually been our biggest selling author for a wee while, Mr. Michael Connolly. So a whole bundle of Michael Connolly hardcovers. About half of these are first editions, so they'll go for about £8, and the rest for around about £4. But Michael Connolly's been selling really well lately, and I don't see any reason why that won't continue. And along with all of those hardcovers, there was a paperback as well. Women's fiction, let's have a look at some of those. So again, these are all listings that I've got up and running that we'll add to. We've got Victoria Hislop, Sophie Kinsella, a couple of Jill Mansell, and a couple of Marion Keys. These are all ones, they don't sell crazy fast, but they do keep ticking over and over and over. We also got a couple of Lucinda Riley, which again sells pretty well. They just keep going out the door. So 3-4 quid each for those two and all. Right, I found a lot of these lately, go ages without seeing any, and then I find stacks at once. Liz Pichon, Tom Gates books. So we've got 7 Tom Gates books there, and they sell quite easily at £3 each off of the bulk listing. So happy with that little pickup. A random Connor Golden Protector. Don't think it was a first edition or anything. No, it's a fourth print. Again, it sells pretty easy. I've got a lot of Connor Golden books, and they move out at a reasonable rate. Next, let's pull up to the front. Karen Slaughter, 1 big paperback and 2 hardcovers. So again, I've got a big stack of these. They don't sell fast, but they do sell, so always quite happy to pick them up and add them to the listings. Right, let's get this boy out of the way, because we've got a stack of them. James Patterson, so we've got a handful of paperbacks, some hardcovers, another paperback, another hardcover, and 2 more hardcovers. So again, James Patterson, he's not been selling as fast as he used to, but I just keep picking them up because they do go after a while. So that was a big stack of James Patterson. We have Philippa Gregory, so paperback Dawn Lands, and then a bundle of hardcovers. 2 of these are first editions, so again about £8, and the other 2 will go for about 4 quid each. So nice condition. Philippa Gregory, historical fiction, all about the Queens, very popular, and they can get stacked back there. Another popular author when I can get them, Ken Follett, copy of Whiteout. Did I check the edition on this one? Yeah, not a first edition, just a random. I'll pop him up there. 3 Damon Lewis. Now, I don't actually have a listing for these, but I've got a lot of Damon listing books, so I'm thinking I might turn them into a bulk listing rather than having them all listed separately. But something to think about. I've sold a few of these. They don't really go particularly fast, but if I've got a lot of them, that'll maybe help with that issue. Pop Damien on top of Philippa. Couple of spare Kellermans. I stopped picking up Jonathan Kellerman books because they really don't sell particularly fast at all, but the Baldacci and Connolly books were all in one big box, so rather than emptying everything out of the box, I just grabbed the box and they happen to be in there as well. So I've got them now. I'll take them, I will get them added to that listing, and they will at some point sell. I've got no doubts about that. Right, what else? We've got The Worst Witch. Again, these sell surprisingly well. 1 in the box set, which I may or may not sell just as the box set. I need to check the condition of the individual books, and a few spares as well. So we add them to that listing, and they sell. What have we got here? Captain Underpants. We've got a lot of the Dav Pilkey books, really popular, sell really well, really easy. A wee dragon, How to Twist a Dragon's Tail, Cressida Cowell. Couple of Beast Quest, haven't picked up any of these for a wee while, I've not seen them, but they will get added into the big bulk listing I've got for them. A Lonely Irvin Welsh, sometimes they sell, sometimes they sit for ages. A couple of Michael Morpurgo. So I think Outlaw's a new one for me. The other I've already got, so they will get added into the Michael Morpurgo listing. Next, I think these are all kind of fantasy bits and pieces. So we've got a Lauren Kate. You can guess by the look of it what they're all about. A couple of PC and Kristen casts, and these always do quite well as well. I've got a whole bundle of them, and they just sell in 5s and 6s. A Lonely David Gemmell, fantasy, always popular. Another fantasy, not so much the teen stuff. Wee George Martin. I've got loads of them, I haven't sold one in ages, but I keep picking them up because I love them. A couple of Stephenie Meyer, part of the Twilight series. Again, they don't sell fast or often, but I always get them because they do sell eventually. And a couple of Richard Osman's. Thursday Murder Club, I've got dozens of copies, but if it's good nick, I'll just keep picking it up because people do buy them. And then The Bullet That Missed, I've maybe got a couple of copies of that in. And when you've got 3 or 4 set, that's when they sell. So that's our Richard Osman. Some more kind of lonelies. We've got a Dean Koontz, which sells sporadically. James Herbert, again, sells sporadically, but as long as there's a bundle they go. And one to add to the Goosebumps listing. They'll go on there. Nearly done with this lot. 2 Anthony Horowitz. So Forever and a Day, one of the James Bond books. And then Moriarty, but this is a Polish edition. So I think somebody was asking me the other day, do I sell non-English books? If I come across them, yeah, I do. So we'll get that listed up, see how it goes. Haven't checked the price or value on that one, no idea, but it could be worth a couple of quid. But we just check it just now. We'll just check it and see if it's worth anything more than the usual 3-4 quid that you get for a paperback Horowitz. So onto eBay, scan the barcodes, no exact matches found. There you go. I'm not going to waste time looking at any further just now. I'll just stick it in the pile. And we'll say we've got a Stuart McBride, another thriller, lots of them. A Lonely Peter May, sells really well. Wilbur Smith, all by himself. Robert Crais, again, quite popular books. Is it a firstie? No, it's not, but 3-4 quid for that one. And one to add to my J.K. Rowling, Robert Galbraith listing, Ink Black Heart. Not a first edition, but the big hardcovers, people buy them in sets. And they do alright. So that's everything that's going to go into my bulk listings, where I've already got a listing up and running for David Walliams, and I just need to go in and add these on. So that's a really, really quick listing process. The few at the end with our bundles, one listing to sell the bundles, so again that's going to be pretty quick. The more valuable books that I showed you, again, individual listings. Doesn't take a long time to get them all listed. Books are quick. Some of them, if they've not got barcodes, takes a wee bit longer because you've got to describe them and find the right bits and pieces. And then we've got these 2 stacks here, which will all get listed as single books for anywhere between £3 and £6 is the normal for all of that one. I've got another wee stack of big books over just out of sight there, maybe about 20 of them. Things like Hayes, Chieftain, Battle Tank, Authorised History of MI5 and MI6. I've got an MI6 one there as well. So they're all just £3, £4, £5 books. They're nothing spectacular, but I'll get them all listed up when I've got time and space. We did pick up a few graphic novels that aren't worth particularly good money, but still 3 or 4 quid. It's about Pokemon, Full Metal Alchemist, My Hero Academia, and what have we got? A couple of Narutos, and an Attack on Titan, but unfortunately it's just a novel, so not worth much. Other books to keep an eye open for, because they do sell well, Stephen Erickson. So this is the Malazan Book of the Fallen. I don't know which book this is, but there's a lot of them, and these always sell well. It's a no-brainer. Stephen Erickson, pick them up, they do sell. A few what interesting books there to show you, or is it all just the usual bump? Again, the kind of things that I'll see a bundle of and I'll pick them up to sell as a set. So I've not looked these up yet. So Star Wars Jedi Academy, The Phantom Bully, Return of the Padawan, and the Jedi Academy itself. So I'll look them up and I'll maybe list them for between £5 and £10 just for the set and get them out the door and moving. Other than that, books that I picked up that I thought looked interesting: House with Green Shutters, £3-4. Journey to Atlantis. There's some people listing it for like £100, but realistically, £3-4. The Fifth Armada monster book, which I quite liked. Thought it was a really cool cover. £3-4. An old Hardy Boys, which I haven't actually looked up yet, but I think from past knowledge, £3-4. A Grange Hill book. That was just a bit of nostalgia. A couple of quid. Asimov, Robot City 2, £4 or £5. Dragonology. The Dragonology books sell quite well, so if you see anything Dragonology, pick it up. It's quite surprising some of the prices, but this one, £3-4. An oldie, Adventures of Robin Hood, £3. Another Andrew Grieg, but this time not signed, and I can go for about a fiver on a good day. Sudoku gift set, £3-4 for the set, nothing fancy at all. Oh, this was in the Connolly Baldacci box as well, a £3 hardcover, really nothing spectacular at all. That'll get listed at some point. A wee bit Ricky Fulton. I loved Ricky Fulton. He used to be great in the pantos in Glasgow. See him at the Kings. So funny. Anyway, Ricky Fulton book, £3-4. Stephen Hawking, £3-4. Golden Heritage edition of Pride and Prejudice, £3-4. Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. I think that's £4 or £5 that usually sells for. Sold a few times. It never hangs about for long. So another nice one to go there. Some more conspiracy, spiritual type books. Not that one. Stargate Conspiracy. Never heard of it, but again, £3 odd. Conversations with God. Doesn't seem to sell very often at all, but £3-4. A Dalai Lama, Ancient Wisdom, Modern World, about £3 on that one. And a wee Robin Young, so again, about £3 for Robin Young. Last little run, shall we? Wild Swans. I've got a couple of copies of that, and it sells for about a fiver, but it doesn't sell very fast or often. We've got The School for Good and Evil. We've got a few different copies of that kicking about. It sells sporadically, but it does go eventually. Sheila Bugler, I've not checked that one yet, but I sold one or two of her books recently for about £5-6 each, so that might be the same. We'll have to wait and see. Shari LaPena, always pick him up. I've got a load of Shari LaPena, another one that I probably want to turn into a listing. Anne O'Brien, historical fiction, a la Philippa Gregory. Again, I've got a few of these, but probably not quite enough for a bulk listing, so that'll go up by itself. And a bit of Bear Grylls. Whenever I get a few of them together, they sell as a bundle quite nicely. The Establishment by Owen Jones sells well and quick, but only for £3 or £4. The Dark Side Zodiac, £3 or £4, nothing spectacular. Just thought it looked a bit interesting, so we'll get money for that. More conspiracy. Don't know what that is, but it's there, and that seems to go for about £3. I like the cover, so I picked it up. And again, £3.50 seems to be a normal for that. Bit of Charles Bukowski, Post Office, which I thought was interesting considering everything that's going on at the moment with our post office. Again, £3. Chris Kuznetsky, I've got a few of his, and they all sell for about £3.50. And the last two in that pile, Marple, 12 stories, 12 great writers, one Agatha Christie. It's a nice book, but nothing spectacular price wise. £3-4 for that one. And the final one, Graham Phillips, Act of God, which again goes for £3-4. Sold it a couple of times, and I'm sure I'll sell it for a couple of times again. So that's the pick up for the day, and those three reasons. You know, I love books. They're quick and easy to source, and there's always really good value in them when you pick them up in big bundles and take a wee bit of a risk, take a bit of a gamble in what you're collecting. Always get a good return on that one there. So 240 quid sales value from the more expensive books, another 60-70 pounds from the box sets that I've picked up, which then leaves us with about 200 books that will all sell for £3 plus each. So that's taken me to 900 to £1,000 in sale value, thereabouts, which for an hour's worth of picking up is dead easy. And they're all, although that seems like a lot of items, it's a couple of hours, in all honesty, to get the vast majority of that listed. Some I won't list at the moment, we'll just go into the death pile and wait until I've got space to get them processed and onto my shelves. But certainly the bulk listing books will all go out, the box sets will all go out, and the higher value ones will all get done over the next 2 or 3 days, and I just pick away at them, and I've got a wee odd half hour, usually watching YouTube or something, and just do some listens at the same time. So yeah, that's a pickup. That's why I sell books and don't bother with other things, which I used to and made pretty good money, but it would have taken me a week's worth of going out and picking and finding stuff potentially to get, like, you know, the same amount of potential profit from what I would be picking up. And I've got reasonable knowledge in these. Some of them will be worth more than what I've said, you know, I'm saying that kind of £3 to £5, but there's at least a dozen first editions in there that will be £8 plus when they go out, so that's, you know, another 30-40 quid on top of it all. And yeah, that's it. So that's what I do on a Sunday. Hope that's been useful, helpful, giving you something. Sorry about the lighting, I really need to make some money so that I can get some sort of setup with a camera and stuff instead of just filming everything off of my Chromebook. But that's Sunday. Love you. See ya. Bye.